Yeah. So in the semifinal guide that Solar Decathlon had sent out, they put like a link that kind of referenced what presentation slides could look like, and it was like the winners from last year, I think. Um, just looking at that and a lot of the sort of data and analytics that they had, I was kind of realizing that we might be just a little behind in a couple of the regards. Like there's some pretty extensive like market analysis um, and sort of like in-depth engineering analysis that just we haven't gotten around to. And I think that kind of comes with a lot of these other schools having like 30 plus team members. Um, and we do only have like almost we have like just over 24 hours to turn this thing in, basically turn in the project summary and the presentation slides. And it doesn't seem like we've started them really. So I think we've definitely got to talk about like how we're going to tackle this and how everyone here, and once Gavin gets here and hopefully I can get in contact with Jared, like what everyone's going to do to make this happen. Because if we don't have everyone on board at this point, I think that like we've got to, or it's just something that we got to talk about. Like if everyone's willing to put in the work for, the rest of today and tomorrow if necessary, in order to come up with something that we can turn in. I don't know how you guys feel about that, because that's kind of the state of it's kind of the reality of the situation right now. Kind of going off of that though, like Hayden and Gavin put in a lot of work, like finalizing the design, and as well as getting some of those materials put into the Rhino, and then also like doing some high level thermal modeling. I wanted to ask Gavin about it, but uh, hopefully he can show up later. But yeah, that's kind of what I think we should like all talk about. And I think like everyone here should maybe chime in and be like, hey, I've got the time to do this, or no, I don't have the time to do this, because we've got to decide about this big push.
All right. So like from our previous project summary, like how much do we have to add in there right now? Do you think? Or we have to
Like we haven't put in anything. I started like thinking about a couple of things that we're supposed to go into a couple of the slides. But like we also have like a blank like project summary. We haven't done much. We haven't done any of the like carbon footprint stuff that they're looking for. And like I don't know if anyone really knows how to do that either. Because I know those numbers for like the initial submission were kind of pulled out of thin air, but like we are going into the semifinals, so we definitely want to make sure that we're not just kind of saying like random stuff at this point. We definitely need to like figure out whether we want to, I don't know, for lack of better words, like whether we want to really go for it. And like obviously I'm sure everyone wants to, for like the work that people have put in. But we do have little time.
Makes sense. Do you think it's easier if we start off from the presentation right now, like see what we should include basically in the presentation, and then we have the template moving on into the summary?
Yeah. I can go ahead and share the presentation and kind of talk about like I'd gone through like a bunch of the presentations from the week before. I'm sorry, from last year.
Yeah.
So here, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so this is our presentation. These are our presentation slides. We do still need to come up with a name, and then probably include some sort of graphic on the title screen, like a rendering. And then I think Hayden's putting in some like information in the LA region right now. We're gonna have to also do like site location, and then we also need to address like what climate zone we have. I included this slide for market analysis because we kind of should have had like an idea of like what would be the cost of actually building out what we're proposing, as well as like maybe any sort of like other financial like implications that come with like our renewable technology, like or that come along with just like the building in general, as well as like maybe addressing the carbon footprint here. I'd put like we want to address like the building envelope and like kind of emphasize in the slide like it would be like something about the modular design. And then just looking at the last two slides right now, I'd put like mention that we want to put gray water treatment. I've still been waiting to ask Gavin about some of the ground source heat pump stuff in combination with that's gonna kind of be related to how like our energy use intensity and our heating and cooling load stuff. And then also mentioning like the solar power technology here, and then just talking about like some of the energy performance stuff. And so that's the first part of this. Kind of additionally, you guys can still see my screen. We have the one sec. So this is the you guys can see this, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is like the project summary, and as you can see, it's still like I guess hasn't really been started yet. And like there are definitely a lot of kind of numbers that maybe we don't have, like we don't fully have. And like so we've got to kind of like ask ourselves like can we, like are we going to get this done, and like is everyone willing to you know, put in the work to add like components of the project that they've been working on to this. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Like there's a good amount, but like if we do have everyone here that says like, okay, yeah, I can, like I have the time to put in work, then like we can get it done, I'm sure. But yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah, thank you, Sterling. And so I sent the link out in the chat of our presentation, and if you guys want to start from the presentation slides, then we can start from there first if you all are into it. So are you guys cool with that, or? prefer another way first?
I'm cool with that.
Thank you, Sterling. Others? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. All right. So for others who are not responding, do you guys prefer doing it from the summary first or another way? Well,
Like I do wanna emphasize that like, yeah, this is gonna take like everyone, because like we all have our kind of role in this. And like if only a couple of us are like, oh yeah, I wanna go for it, then like, you know, that makes kind of completing it pretty tough. So yeah. I think everyone should respond because you know we are here. It's
yeah.
okay to unmute yourself and say like, yeah, I'm down for it.
I just had a quick question. Where are those actual presentation slides? Are they in the full Google Drive somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Max just sent the link to it in
Yeah.
the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, in the chat.
And also, I mean, I think we should just move the semifinal submission into the general link, right? Like in general like folder, which is not the winter 2022.
Yeah, that works either way.
Yeah, move it out there.
But yeah, I'm down. Is the plan to kind of just have all of us work on it simultaneously, or do you want to kind of like split it up? I don't know, like breakout rooms or something, or just kind of like divide and conquer, that type of thing, or do you want to go through it step by step?
I mean, currently there's like at least 2% from each team. So I mean it's up to you, you guys. I mean we all can discuss it together in here.
So like everything that needs to be in the slides is listed in the bullet points, or
No,
doesn't even have to be. It's just like pictures.
for the architecture design stuff, like I guess I could be a little bit more specific with like some of the things.
okay, then
I'll
my
sh-
question would be like, I don't see much to do with engineering A.
Right. Engineering A, the biggest thing is
Envelope.
yeah, is like talking about is like there I mean, and also, you know, this isn't the set in stone like slide layout. There's not really like a sort of like set layout, and if we like if you feel like that there's something else that you want to add about the structure or something that engineering A has been working on, like by all means add, you know, like add another slide. This was kind of like just where I started. The biggest thing that most like aspects of like presentations from last year that we're talking about with regards to engineering A was like envelope integrity and structural integrity, and like the actual shape of the building and what was our inspiration for it, and talking about like maybe some of the aspects that might be biophilic patterns, which are like ways that you're like emulating life to like inner work in your design to make it more like green or more or like, I don't know, like appealing, which are things that maybe we haven't talked about now, but like I would say having for at least for engineering A, like having us like a cross section of the envelope and like specifying what materials are being used, and like ideally we would have like some sort of embodied environmental impact that would like be included in that, or just mentioning that like these are all like low carbon impacted materials or something like that. Like having a, let's see, like if you guys could still see my screen,
Yeah,
like
we can see it.
something not obviously with like this amount of detail, but just this idea where like our insulation, our like outer walls or inner walls are like just like not obviously not nearly as much as like details whatever this blurry mess says, but like, you know, just an idea of like what materials we're actually using to like enhance the like the building envelope and like reinforce it sort of, if that like makes
Yeah,
sense.
that
And
makes sense.
if you think that needs like another slide on its own, like by all means, you know, like put another one in there.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So like just for organization of the slides, should we like block off each sub team just so they're somewhat in order and not jumping over the place if we're all working on it at the same time?
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if this is the best way, but I think we should like maybe go into breakout rooms with each of our sub teams and
Okay.
maybe like
Yeah. Also,
try to.
I have it ready.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, keep in mind there's only 8 minutes in the entire presentation. So yeah, so I mean each team has at least 2 minutes to present. Yeah, and once it's over 8 minutes, then they'll cut us off on 26th. So that'll be it. So it's gonna be pretty precise and keep it short and simple. All right, go ahead, guys.
How's it going, guys?
Doing pretty good.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
All right,
Yeah.
so
we
yeah, how are you
got a
feeling?
lot to get through, I think.
Yeah.
I hope you two can help me navigate through all of this stuff because like it's kind of getting daunting this time because we got so many things.
What was that?
I mean, like, I hope you two like can help me navigate through all of these materials, like how to do the presentation. There's so many things to cover, kind of like daunting for me. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's no worries, Oliver. I mean, Jared and I have like basically the two slides that we need to be most concerned with are 6 and 7. And like I think that we have most of the like information like almost ready. Like I want to ask Gavin about his like thermal modeling stuff. But he's not here right now. Because we have a super low EUI apparently. But like he like I don't know if I don't know if I fully believe it. I can show you what I mean. So Jared, for your information, I can like share my screen. In the document in this like Gavin in the Discord had sent like sort of progress on some of the modeling you did with Climate Studio, and like this was like the energy use intensity that he found, and like this is kind of weird because like there's no cooling requirements. There's like no cooling in this energy use intensity.
Wow.
And hardly any heating, and it's all light, and like we didn't put any
Okay.
light in the like we haven't included like really incorporated any lighting measurement, like lighting stuff. So I'm kind of like, I don't even know if that number's valid. I'm just a little confused.
Yeah, same here.
So you want to ask him like what parameters kind of went into him getting that data?
Yeah. I think we need to do that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I was working on like getting screenshots of all of the like the different appliances that we're using and putting them in like the energy performance. I'm gonna text something to everyone in the chat. Wait, if I send something, can everyone see it, or how does that work?
I think it's only sent to the people in the breakout room.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the main room real quick. Oh wait. Yeah, okay, broadcast message to all.
Wanted to broadcast something. Maybe that's a host thing.
Yeah, I
But-
can, he made us co-hosts, so I'm gonna send something.
Okay, so just to confirm, because okay, so it looks like 6 and 7, those slides are the ones that we would need to focus on. The okay, the gray water treatment and the ground source heat pump. You already looked up like details into that.
Yeah, I
Specifically
don't
the
even know
ground-
about the gray water treatment, honestly. Like, we haven't talked, like, it was just like, to be perfectly honest, like, it was almost like it was unbelievable how much more information and like data that like all these teams that one had like compared to where we're at now. And like, I don't want to be a downer, but it was like pretty discouraging to think like, I was like, wow, like we're really not. That's why I was texting you about yesterday. Like, we're really not anywhere close to where I think that we should be, like after looking at like what other teams have. And that might be just because like we don't have the resources. Like maybe we just haven't had like, a lot of us, this has been like our first time going around with like the solar decathlon, like business, and like maybe we just didn't have like, you know, a lot of these numbers and stuff that we're figuring out, like we realized this in like the last week or week and a half, like from what me and you said, like, oh, by the way, we need all these numbers for her score, or we need this stuff for modeling in you know, Climate Studio, and like that was actually like from Saturday that we like really said like, okay, this is the stuff that we need, like while we had like our first in-person meeting in a while. Like, I don't know.
I know that. So the ones that you looked up obviously are the team's final presentation like slides, right? And the last day for us to submit presentations for the competition event is in April. But we do have like the semifinal, right? And the semifinal, does that dictate like that dictates the top 10 teams, right? That will like make it into like the actual like final competition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that definitely is a downer if we want to qualify for top 10. I think we have like 14 teams in our
I think there's
division.
12. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start on like changing the layout of the engineering a little bit. And I'm kind of gonna just split it up into like 3 different little sections with like each of these components. And then geez. Honestly, like in my mind, I think the engineering slide could be like sort of oriented where it's like maybe 3, like Jared, if you would want to do this where it's like 3 columns with like not just like bullet points, it's like gray water, it says like gray water treatment, and then like ground source heat pump, and then solar power, like almost with like 3 columns where we could put like a photo underneath and then like a couple of details. And I can go ahead and keep working on like putting in the Energy Star and the EPA water sense like fixtures, whatever.
Yeah. Just quick question for everyone. Oh, the camera changed. So do you guys think 10 minutes we meet back together in the main room is a good idea, or you need more time?
10 minutes is probably cool.
10 minutes, yeah. I mean, it's just like a layout of what you guys are gonna be doing, and then we just let everyone know in the team. That's why we going back to the main room. Yeah. All right, sounds good.
Max, wait, quick question. Is there any way like you would be able to like do some of the if you go to the slides that they like the video that they sent
Mhm.
and just look at the market analysis, like they put an idea of like like some of the presentations like give an idea of like what the market analysis actually entails. If you have the time to like do that, would you be able to like maybe find like, or at least find like what site we could use for like getting an estimation per like cost per square foot, or even like carbon emissions per square foot, like one of those 2 things, and like what details we might need for that?
Yeah, actually, I think Andre, Gavin, and Alan, as well as Jared back then in the PM team, I think we discussed about that before, right?
In terms of like who took care of it,
Yeah, the market analysis.
yeah, that I assume that was Andre and Alan, because
Okay.
they didn't uh talk to me about any of it. So
Oh, yeah, because Jared joined later in the team. Because I think they had stuff prepared for that already. So, I mean, let me just reach out to Andre right now and see where he is. And also Alan, of course. Yeah, and if they're not available, I'll see what I can do, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, I'll go to the other meeting rooms and ask if 10 minutes is enough. Okay,
Sweet.
guys, good luck.
Yep.
a quick question. For the gray water treatment, is that kind of in line with the EPA water sense that you mentioned, or is the EPA water sense just kind of like the appliances that are used to save water?
Yeah, they're the appliances.
Okay, for sure. So for the solar panel, I know that Heat Spring was pushing the PV watts that they have, you know, the calculator that we've been using. So if Gavin doesn't have those numbers from Climate Studio, the solar power generation can be just a quick calculation through PV watts, and then that number can be put in that column. The ground source heat pump, in combination with the electric water heater, we still need to. So we know that we wanted to switch to like the ground source heat pump system for our HVAC. In terms of like detailing whether it's like going to be a vertical setup or horizontal setup, do we know that for sure? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's my understanding that we're definitely going with like a closed loop system, and I don't know if
Yeah.
horizontal is more common. But
Yeah. So from what like so that's what I was kind of saying, like from this data here, one sec. From this data here, we have the EU, this is like a metric of EUI that was taken from Climate Studio that says, like, gives, like, allocates a lot of energy use intensity to lighting when like we haven't even done anything for lighting, which is why like I wanted to be able to like talk to him about this stuff, including like the heating and cooling loads, which kind of was like, it's like a little confusing, but overall like this measurement is in kilowatt hours per meter squared, right? And so basically what we would convert this to is kBTUs per feet squared, which compares to our energy use intensity from the project guidelines. The project guidelines say that we're supposed to, based on our climate zone, we should have like 73 or something like that. I think it was like 73 kBTUs per feet squared. These numbers right here with like just this general estimations, which like, again, I'm pretty confused where they came from because there's like no cooling in the summer when like we as like people in LA, like obviously we're gonna need cooling load, like we're gonna have some cooling requirements in the summer. Like this amounts to an EUI of 26 is what I calculated just based off of like a rough estimate. So like with an EUI of 26 and like taking away the requirements for the like heating and cooling, like, you know, like to the like to an observer that like doesn't look too much into it, like it looks like our building's really efficient, but there's no weight behind it, you know?
For sure. Yeah.
Like there's no like data to back it up. Like that chart like doesn't make any sense. Like how do we not have cooling loads like on our building, and like our lighting of all things, which we haven't even like set up yet. So energy performance would probably have to like, we probably should like try and include something with lighting as well.
So with what we currently have with the slides, it seems like slide 7 is going to detail the mechanical system, and we don't have a lot of clarity on the plumbing. Electrical is kind of more so summed up in the energy performance slide in slide 8, where we have like the list of appliances. So those would be kind of like, these set appliances will be in like these rooms. What else? And we have the energy performance. So yeah, we definitely want to ask Gavin kind of how he went about getting the numbers. But in terms of what we can include in the slides, yeah, what are you thinking? Because we can provide kind of details about our mechanical system, right? Since we're MEPs and energy performance. So the M, we have the details covered, not really hard numbers, but we can, you know, write something in this presentation slide. The E is kind of iffy, but we do have the list of appliances. And I don't know if we've also considered like, you know, having some type of kind of not like building automation, but like, you know, if you some type of that type of thing that could, you know, save energy and stuff like that on the electrical side. the plumbing is the least clear, except that in our design, we intentionally had it where we're trying to like minimize, the, amount of plumbing walls needed, right? We tried to kind of like bring them together. That was something that Hayden did. So like the plumbing walls go straight up. And we have the renewable solar PV. We can write about that. The energy performance, we're still not clear on it, but we can list the appliances and the Energy Star that will help us with that. But we need to talk to Gavin about the EUI calculated.
Are you going to be able to get a HERS index or a HERS score like with the simple model? Like, is that something that's possible, you think?
With the simplified, I think it can be doable with everyone, but it would probably take some time. And if there are parameters that we're not too sure about, like the duct system and stuff like that, then we might need to kind of like reconvene or something like that.
Even for like the simplified version too.
Well, let me actually bring it up and share my screen and show you the simplified inputs, because those are way less than the detailed inputs have. So yeah, let me pull that up real quick. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the data that Hayden had put. So in terms of, so I just kind of downloaded the file that Hayden put, since this has the simplified version, right? Let's see, reason for rating. This is based on LA electric provider. Okay, so this is what the data that he has in here. We have the building envelope characteristics. We're missing ceiling, attic. So
what are the options that we can put?
So different R values and blown attic, mobile home ceiling. We could access the library and put in something, but one of the things that I can check to see, if I run a quick analysis, it says that you have defined a building with attic ceiling, but no ceiling type was selected. So there's that. Their windows was put in. This space heating needs to be a ground source heat pump.
And I would just put 4 ton for now, or honestly 5 ton. Yeah, 5 ton.
I think we said that it was enclosed. Well, this is the location of the ground source heat pump.
It's in a conditioned living space. Or wait. Is there like unconditioned?
There's unconditioned basement / enclosed crawl.
Ambient garage. Yeah, I just put conditioned living space for now.
It's adjusted 100.
Okay. Yeah, just leave all that stuff.
So vertical versus horizontal. I do remember I was watching like a video on ground source heat pump, but I forget what was said exactly about well, I know definitely we want to go with the closed loop as opposed to open, but whether or not we want to go with vertical or horizontal, Let me see. Share real quick. So in terms of what's kind of provided here, generally most cost effective for residential installations, particularly for new construction, where sufficient land is available. Trenches at least 4 feet deep, use either 2 pipes.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that we used this slinky design. If you scroll down a little bit more, yeah. So the one that's kind of to the, oh, they say it's in a pond or a lake, but you can like do this slinky that like increases the amount of area, or like increases the amount of tubing that you can have in one area. Like, but we can just keep it like vertical for now and just I don't know. Like, I just don't know how to like size the heat pump, which is what's difficult.
Okay, are you talking about the size of like the actual unit, or like the size of the unit and where it would be like placed, like outside of the home or inside?
Well, like it's gonna be the heat pump itself is gonna be in that storage closet.
Okay, for sure.
But like I've been running into difficulties with finding a way to heat or cool like a space with like that many different rooms sort of to it. And like honestly, as much as it like sucks to say, like you know, I just don't know if we have like the information, you know, like for like we're missing a lot of information, and like I'm concerned that it's not like that information isn't going to get resolved by tomorrow, like to submit this thing. And this is kind of like the same problem that we ran into last year, where like it was, you know, it was tough to figure out like what we needed to know, and then like when it became time to like.
Great, welcome back everyone. And oh wait. Okay, cool. Has anyone like know about the WOVA registration for our presentation day?
What was that?
The WOVA is for it's where you get the Zoom links and everything and talk with the organizer for specific details and stuff. Have you guys got that yet?
I've not.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll just explain it to you after you guys have like present what you have for your team slide. So does anyone of you want to like start first for the presentation slides?
Wait, you want us to present our slides right now?
Not presenting, it's more like you just tell everyone in the team like what you guys have been planning for your team.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, for engineering A, since it seems
Oh,
like
sure.
there's not much, what?
Oh, do you want to share a screen? I'm just asking.
Oh, actually, we don't have the slides yet.
Okay.
We were gonna work on that right now, but
Mhm.
so basically, we're just gonna have a cross section of the wall, each floor, the roof, and the foundation, and then just give as much information as we can on that, because it doesn't seem like there's much else that you guys, for the semifinal part that engineering A has to present. So that was basically our idea. So like our values and the materials we're gonna use.
Great, thank you. How about other teams?
Well, I mean, is that like, does that seem good? Because there doesn't seem to be much else that we could put in. We have other stuff but it also seems like there's more important aspects that we need to present for the semifinal
Okay.
portion.
Okay. I mean, I'm not exactly sure about how, like, to be honest, yeah, I'm not really sure about what's happening with the engineering much, but so would you guys think like you guys would be only like using one slide? And is that it?
Possibly. It'll be like pretty packed, but
Oh, okay, and then just yeah, go with whatever you guys feel like is the best. I mean, it's just
I
really.
mean, we were planning on doing like a one like just, yeah, I think we could fit on one slide.
I mean, I mean, honestly, there is no like limits in slides. Just that 8 minutes is like
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. I mean, it's just that yeah. So I'm glad you guys know what you're going to land on. Yeah. How far are the teams right now?
Yeah, for engineering B, we're kind of just working on figuring out some of these numbers. I kind of wanted to talk to Gavin during this meeting, but hopefully, like I can get in contact with him later, because it will kind of set up like some other load requirements. Like I just need some details on the Climate Studio stuff that he did yesterday. But we're just going to be working on the last two slides, the slide 7 and 8.
Cool. How about architecture team?
So we kind of like working on the early slides on the presentation. So like something like a more like background information wise context, like the site and the region stuff. And then of course we would kind of introduce more like the idea of modular design that we kind of like driven the entire like project. And for sure we would produce the renderings and graphics for these slides and the project summary. So I think, yeah, but like a little bit more details like the solar panels, like the placements or like the sizes and stuff. I think like we may have to like to get a little bit more details from engineering teams. Yeah, just to make sure the graphics are kind of reflecting the accurate stuff that we are presenting and so on. Yeah, not much else.
Yeah, thank you. So based on what I've heard so far, do you guys think it's best if we meet again at 3 p.m. let's say today? So you all can have, use like these few hours to sort of update what you guys are doing.
Could it be
I
a
don't
little
want to
later?
discourage you, but like it sounds like I don't think like meeting that often really helps because yeah,
Okay.
just I think yeah, as long as we keep working and that should be fine, I guess. Yeah,
I mean,
and I feel like maybe like the members who kind of picked up the previous project summary would be like super helpful, like to continue like compile the information we have now and the previous one, just to kind of put new stuff into the project summary. Yeah, and then like all of the current members we have in the meeting here can work on the slides, and then yeah, I think that would be great.
Sterling, we were trying to say something earlier.
I I still just have a worry that like a lot of these details, like we need more time to like coordinate, or at least like talking about like some of these softwares that we're using, and like like I don't know. I'm just like concerned about the level of detail that we have like going into this presentation. So I think it's just like worth noting. Like not to be like, you know, like a pessimist or anything like, but this was kind of like the stage that we were at like last year where we were having difficulty like coordinating a lot of these details and really figuring out what like what it was that we needed to know when it came time for like to like present or submit a deliverable. So like we gotta like really ask ourselves, like, are we gonna submit a presentation and a project summary with like not really a lot of this, like they're asking for a lot of stuff that we don't really have right now. Like, cause like that's kind of really what's going on. And yeah, I think that's just like a serious question that we should like all ask ourselves. Like I obviously like I do really want to like move forward with this, but like I mean, we at least on the MEP side, like a lot of the stuff that like kind of provides the foundation for numbers and data is just like not there right now. And like it's been a pretty long, it's been pretty difficult for like a couple of weeks, like really like going on this wild goose chase of trying to find all of these numbers and stuff, and still kind of like not at the fault of anyone else, but like just, you know, like sort of falling short as like we've made a lot of like short steps in trying to find these like numbers and stuff. And so like maybe that means that we do need to meet like later today and like coordinate some of these things, because there definitely needs to be like a lot of coordination. Like I don't think that we can like we can submit something that's just sort of like half-assed or like just guessing certain things, because like if there is another team out there that's like putting in more detail and stuff at this point, like you know, it'd be tough for us to have like a lot of these numbers with like out a lot of backing. I don't know. It's just been like a concern of mine for this weekend that I think is worth vocalizing to everyone else.
Okay. Yeah. Also responding to Oliver for Thursday or Friday is it's we meet again on Thursday or Friday. It'll be when after we submit everything. So we really have to meet today again to see like what we can coordinate, like what Sterling mentioned earlier. So yeah, if you guys are cool with that, we should just think of a time. And also responding to Sterling, honestly, I mean, I know like we're sort of behind of what we were expected to, but getting to the finals, to be very frank, I think we're based on the registration sheet for people who would like apply for attached housing. Originally they're 12, right? But people who registered, what I see from the sheet is that not all 12 of them applied for semifinals presentation day. So I guess someone already have left the competition pool. So getting to finals is that's 95% guaranteed right now. So if we half-assed, we'll still get into finals, but it's just based on our own integrity of like what we want to do for the semifinals for us. But either way, I think we're already getting into finals, since there's like 10 finalists, right? And there are less than 10 competition teams in the sheet right now for attached housing. So it's just that, I mean, just like a data thing that you guys can consider. But do you guys still want to meet? Like, I mean, yeah, keep going, Sterling.
Yeah, Jared was gonna bring up like there's a bunch of these values for this like her score data that like we still need, and like that would be something that we should like if we can, like, we should go through that now and like, and be like, okay, like this, like, do we know this information? And then like that's probably a good like start to like moving forward in terms of like getting some of those numbers.
All right, cool.
Jared, if you wanted to share your screen.
Yeah, so just to kind of back up what Sterling was talking, um, since we hadn't had a lot of time to like mess with the software, definitely getting the numbers and data behind, behind our design and bolstering that is something that, if we don't give its proper attention, that it's gonna kind of, it's not gonna be like the project that we could present, So I think with this her score, we tried to kind of run through it in our last engineering B meeting, but this time I'm gonna go through it with the simplified inputs. So these are gonna have like built-in assumptions. Typically the simplified inputs are used for like existing houses and stuff like that. But at least with the simplified, you can maybe get some idea. And then, if we have time, we can move on to the detailed inputs. So if that's okay with everyone, I think, if we're gonna go through with this, definitely, since, we don't have access to Climate Studio right now for the EUI, we could try our best to see how far we can get with this her score rating, so that we have at least one kind of numerical value for like our energy performance, and it kind of backs up our design. So is it okay if we go through this? This is simplified inputs. So in terms of what needs to be put in, these are kind of like the details here: lighting, mechanical, window, envelope, and general design. These are the only inputs needed. So is that cool with everyone if we kind of just go through these?
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
it's fine with me.
All right, awesome. All right, so in terms of parameters here, we can just go to general design. This is the data that I downloaded, that Hayden posted on a Google Drive. So I'm adding to this. Okay, so does any information here look off, or is this in your view a good representation? In terms of housing type, that's good. You said that our foundation type, didn't we mention that that was like some type of crawl space? Or was it a slab?
Yeah, it's like a combination of both. So it's kind of hard to like,
So mixed.
I think we might, yeah, and then do a percentage. I think the slab is, I did the quick calc yesterday. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give you the numbers real quick.
Right.
Actually, I don't.
Okay, well, would it be possible for someone to kind of look into it? At least we can get kind of a rough percentage, and then we can come back to this, because we know that it's a mixed floor type, right? Some combination of slab and
Yeah, I can
is
do
it
it real quick.
open. Okay, awesome.
1 second, you can move on to other aspects as well, and then we'll come back to this.
Conditioned floor area, 12,500 square feet. Is that good?
Yeah, that's what Gavin, I think, or Hayden calculated.
Okay. 20 bedrooms. I assume that's something that Hayden put in, so as well. And then distribution of conditioned floor. I assume that these values are what Hayden put in. Hayden, is there anything else in here that you would want to add, or is this pretty much accurate? Aiden?
Yes, sorry. Sorry, I missed it.
My bad. So is this all good? This is the data that you put in. So is there anything else that you wanted to add to this? Or is this pretty accurate?
So I kind of put these like percentages based on the CAD file. So if I did not like misunderstood the parameters, the description of parameters, I think they should be correct.
Okay, sounds good. All right, just wanted to check and make sure if you tweaked anything as of recent, but okay, we will. So in this one, we're looking up the percentage of slab to crawl space, and we'll come back to that.
Crawl space percentage is 30%, and the rest is gonna be 70. The rest 70% is gonna be slab.
And this is open crawl, raised floor?
I think it's
or-
raised floor, yes.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Where is it? Well, I think it's enclosed. We're gonna have retaining walls around, actually. Sorry, it's gonna be enclosed.
No worries. Let me see real quick. Okay. Yeah, this help area kind of details, the input. So if you all have any, you just want to kind of clarify what it's referring to, then yeah, feel free to let me know and I can pull this up. But yeah. Okay, great. So we have the mixed percentages and everything. So we're moving on to the building envelope characteristics. These are values that Hayden put in as well, with the vaulted ceiling type, above grade wall type, floor wall type, floor type, door type, slab floor, what it is. The ceiling static above type, there isn't one. Is that because like we don't have any data on that as
We
of
don't
now?
have an attic because it's a flat roof, so we don't have like.
Okay,
an
for
attic
sure.
piece.
Okay, so. All right, yeah, because when I tried to do like kind of a quick run, it mentioned that you've defined a building with an attic ceiling, but no ceiling type was selected. Please select an attic ceiling type in the building envelope simplified inputs. I don't know where it's, it says we define a building with an attic ceiling. I don't know where that's kind of indicated here. But yeah, we can come back to that and try and figure out what's up with that. Windows and glass door properties summary. This is stuff that Hayden put in as well. Is everything good on this slide?
Yeah, I think they should be correct.
Okay, cool. All right. Space heating. Me and Sterling put this in. Ground source heat pump. The condition the living space. So the ground source, the unit itself is going to be inside the building in a conditioned space.
Maybe change the heating set point to something like 65. I think it should be the heating set point. It's like the bottom of the system-wide properties.
65.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And cooling 78.
Yeah, we'll just keep it there for now.
Okay, for sure. All right.
It's basically the temperature, like when it would start like functioning essentially. And like the further away they are from each other, the more efficient it's gonna be. Like if it starts heating at 68, like that's kind of a waste. But maybe cooling should be a little colder, but we can just leave it for now.
Yeah, it mentions that thermostat inputs are ignored during compliance calculations for HERS ratings.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, we'll just leave it.
all right, for sure. So we're gonna keep with vertical, vertical well type, at least for now. That type was typically for kind of
commercial buildings and I think schools. Horizontal was more for residential applications, but ours is kind of like a multi-family type thing. So I don't know if it's kind of comparable in that way, but we'll leave it at vertical for now. The number of wells and well depth is still kind of iffy. I guess we can try and look into that and kind of when we meet again, kind of maybe bring in some values for that.
So for the well depth, so how do you come up with 100? Is it
This was what was inputted when you first go to the like when you first open up this like slide, I guess, or this panel. It's dependent on the amount of heating and cooling requirements, but that's kind of why I wish Gavin was here, because the heating and cooling loads that he had gotten from like the thermal modeling, like to be honest, don't really make much sense, because there's, according to his study, on like a monthly basis, there's like no. Jared, if you wouldn't mind, like I just want to show this just for like other people's understandings. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Just so like other people know. One sec. So like it was like it's super awesome that we're getting something that looks like this. If you look, like this is kind of the data that we at Engineering B have been like looking for, that kind of sets us up to start really getting some of these numbers. And he did like the daylighting sequence. This is like a simulation of energy use intensity, which is like an estimation in kilowatt hours per meter squared of how much energy like is going to be allocated to different systems within the building. But like, as you can see, lighting is like the most dominant here across the board, which like we haven't really selected any lighting requirements because we haven't been able to meet at this point where like we were using Climate Studio to figure out our daylighting. Furthermore, like our hot water is also like basically taking up more energy than like our heating. And during the summer months in LA, like you would expect to see high amounts of cooling. So like this is a good start, but like the fact that we're in LA and our EUI set shows that like we don't have any sort of cooling loads, like doesn't really line up. So like and also like if we're using like low light LEDs, like our lighting requirements won't be anywhere near like this level. So it's like kind of difficult to, even though like this is great and like I'm likely gonna have to just like use this as like the EUI for now and kind of figure out like what are like how much energy we need to pull from to like size the ground source heat pump. Like the data still is like we haven't inputted all the right parameters, basically, Hayden, just to answer your question in like in short. Like we just don't have we're like there, we're making the right steps, but again, like we need to like Jared and I need to meet with like you guys to like sit down and be like and go through like I mean like I've gone through like the Climate Studio and Grasshopper stuff, and like I know the like what we need to like sort of like add on to in order to make those numbers like a little more accurate.
I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually kind of worked through with Climate Studio yesterday, but like I guess I'm still pretty new for that. So I'm not quite sure like how Gavin ran out those tables and figures. So yeah, I guess like with him explaining those stuff would be really helpful. So we just need him to show up.
Yeah. I mean like yeah, so just like with the like it doesn't make any sense for like the lighting to be like requiring that much energy, as opposed to like your HVAC should always be the heaviest load on your energy use. and like the idea is we're taking that and like eliminating the energy use by using the ground source heat pump, but we need to know how much energy the ground source heat pump like sort of needs to take care of in order to be able to size it, as well as be able to size those loops. So like without like more accurate information on like the HVAC requirements, it's difficult for us to be able, or I guess for like, yeah, for us to like properly size the heat pumps and the loops that go into the system.
Okay, then maybe we can maybe leave it a
Yeah,
little
that's kind
bit.
of what I'm thinking. We just leave it for now. Like we're basically like overestimating like the heating load ideally. Sorry, Jared, you can go back to it now. But I just wanted to show you kind of like that EUI is what we want. But we gotta just like meet up and like really figure out like what's going on so that we can get some more accurate numbers. But it's definitely like moving in the right direction.
Okay, good.
Well, quick question. I guess this can be for ARC team as well. Because in terms of choosing between a vertical or horizontal kind of setup, you know, the horizontal setup, according to the DOE website detailing this stuff on ground source heat pumps, the horizontal setup is the most cost effective for residential installations. It points out particularly new construction where there's sufficient land available. So I think, you know, one of the things that we were talking about with ground source heat pumps is that, you know, they definitely provide, you know, good efficiency, but, you know, cost could be something that, you know, we should try and kind of minimize as much as we can. At the moment, we don't really have a reference for how big a horizontal kind of like, you know, setup would be. So
It's
I
like
guess my question
it's
would
like
be,
it's like 200 to 400 feet of like piping for every ton that's required. So like the way that a geothermal, like the ground source heat pump is like sized is in terms of tons, and it's like a conversion to how much energy. It's like multiply it by 12,000, and like that's about how many BTUs you'll be able to like heat or cool, or like supply. So like I have the calculator, like I will be able to find out like the numbers once we size the heat pump, but maybe I can just like, if we're sizing it based on a 5-ton heat pump, I might be able to just give you those numbers by the end of this, if you want to just go to the next thing on the HERS score.
yeah, the if you already have rem rate, like it already details like, you know, how to get the numbers.
Oh, okay.
So like they kind of give guidelines,
Oh, it says
right?
600 feet per ton of cooling. Okay.
Right. So I guess something that I was gonna try and get at is, you know, if we can properly size this horizontal one, then we kind of have to look at our site and kind of maybe see if it's possible, because, you know, we need to have like that sufficient land available. Otherwise, we would go with the vertical system, which would use kind of like less surface area. Obviously, would probably go a little deeper, but it might be a little bit more costly. So just something that I guess we can, you know, once we have like those numbers, we can, you know, talk with ARC team and kind of see like which one is more feasible, I guess. Like if the horizontal one, if we can do it, if we have like adequate enough area, that'd be great. But yeah, so we will work on refining those numbers. The duct system. So this is kind of detailing in terms of, you know, the heating and cooling supply ducts. So I think that this has to do with for simplified inputs. So this is this has to do with kind of like air infiltration, right, Sterling?
Yeah, I mean, I would just go with what they put for now. Like, it's fine.
Well, there wasn't anything inputted for the locations for the
No,
duct
I'm
system.
sorry for that like slide that you would just that or that little like thing that you just pulled up. Like, if you scroll down, they like say to just make it conditioned basement and then do like supply versus the total supply area. Like, you see that how they have the conditioned
Yeah.
basement. Yeah, I mean, like, just keep it as that for now. Like again, like I haven't sized the ducks yet or anything. Because I don't. I mean, I think is there room for like ductwork to go? Does that like go through the walls, or like how exactly does that like where do ducks go?
Yeah, in terms of the placement for this is one of the areas that is not, we don't have like sufficient enough of detail.
Yeah, just I think
to-
we'll just leave it as conditioned basement for now, and let's see if we can like still get a her score, so I can move on.
So at least we'll know like what area needs to be filled in.
Yeah. And I
okay.
I have most of these. I can for the refrigerator, we're looking at 345 kilowatt hours per year. And then the dishwasher, it's 239.
It's in a conditioned space, right?
Yeah, I don't know, probably. And then presets, yeah, make it Energy Star. Yeah, Energy Star standard. 270. What about compact? What does that take you down to?
203.
What's the other one? Yeah, okay. 239 for the one that we're using. If you go to the right, now that you like
Oh,
put
we
the
can input
specific
these
item-
in.
yeah, and then place setting capacity. I don't know what that means. So yeah, just leave that. Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
And then oven, haven't done yet. Close the washer. Washer's 99 kilowatt hours per year. So just do conditioned, I guess. Yeah. Capacity cubic feet was, I think, 3 is fine. 3 is not fine. 1 sec. I can pull this up.
Was this based off of a certain Energy Star year? This is what it has for 2018.
Well, no, I looked up all these appliances, like picked them.
Sure.
The volume was 5 cubic feet, and then label energy rating is 99, and then label gas rate, label electric rate, none of that stuff is available, so like I guess just leave it. And then the dryer, there's the dryer as well. The CEF. Um, 3.93. And then dwelling units per dryer is a lot more. If you go back to that, if that's something for, it's shared space. Sorry. So go back up. MF shared space, and then it should be, it's dwelling units. How many dwelling units are there total, Hayden, again? I know there's 20 bedrooms, but how many, if that is dwelling units? Hayden, can you hear me?
Are you there, Hayden?
I think we have 12 units, so maybe just put 6.
Well, Alan, are you Alan?
Yeah, just go with 6.
Okay.
It's fine. And then the washer, if there's like another, if that's like, it should be actually shared space for the washer as well. Not the dishwasher, sorry. The clothes washer, boom. Yeah. And that should be MF shared space. And 6. And then ceiling fans and lighting, I would just leave for now. Lighting, FL. I'll look that up right now.
For sure. Okay, and then the next screen is, this is basically, I think we need to check these, kind of assuming that it meets these kind of these codes in order to get a score. From what I remember, marking any certifies that the home complies with all mandatory requirements, checkbox. Okay, Rater asserts home complies with requirements for Energy Star. Would it be version 3.0 or would it be one of the multifamily? So it would be multi for now. Let me see what happens when I try and do a quick calculation. Analysis. It says that the duct location you have specified is inconsistent with the foundation type of the house. Change the duct location to match the foundation type, or choose another location that is not in the foundation.
Yeah, I think we have a crawl space. That's why we can't have the duct in the basement.
Okay. Be an enclosed crawl space.
Wait, by the way, the dwelling units is 12 numbers. Yeah, the 12 units.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be 12 here.
Right. Sorry. Well, I know we have 12 dwelling units, but we're doing 2 washers and 2 dryers. So
Okay,
they're gonna be stacked on top of each other. So keep it at 6.
Okay.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so I changed the duct from not the basement. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Hayden had to leave for an emergency.
And then for the lighting requirements at the next one, they should all be like, I don't know why it says 10% CFL plus FL, but it should be all LEDs. So like change the because that's like fluorescence, and then like
Fluorescence and
yeah, so we're gonna go with, we're doing like all LEDs. So maybe just change it from 0%, change that 10% to 0, and then make it like 100%. If that like makes sense. I don't know. Yeah.
and then exterior and garage. We're not too sure. Well, we don't have a garage.
We don't have a garage, yeah. And then maybe make it like 80% interior and 20% exterior or something like that, I guess.
Okay. Would it be?
I don't know if this is a percentage of like what maybe make the LED, like it's also, yeah, wait, let's see what's going on with this. Yeah, we want tier 2 lighting. Which is just like more efficient basically.
Okay, so in terms of like the percentage, percentage of lights from the appropriate.
Yeah, it says the sum of the fixtures should be 100%, it looked like.
Oh, okay, for sure.
So I mean across like interior and then across exterior. So maybe just make interior and exterior LEDs both 100. Yeah. And then I think that should be good. And then I'm working on getting a count of the amount of refrigerators that we have.
Be shared space, right? Or condition for each dwelling unit.
Yeah, leave that. I'm talking about that. I think it was like the next slide or something. If you go to the, yeah, it says number of refrigerators. It's 1 second.
And also, while he's looking up that, when I tried to do a quick analysis, it mentions that we've defined a building with an attic ceiling, but no ceiling type was selected.
We
Please
can
select
go
an
back
attic.
to it.
Yeah, let's go back and see.
Mhm.
So the ceiling attic type is set to none here. But
Go ahead and
it's
click on the
You
options.
can, yeah, you can look at the options and see. Oh, the ceiling type is selected as attic. Is that why? I don't know. Sealed. Well, it's not vaulted. It's not vaulted, I don't think.
well, I mean, it's put as none, so I don't know if it's I think it's selecting this on. I mean, let's see what happens if we put vaulted.
It's like a high ceiling. Right.
Yeah, so it doesn't. Let me see. Yeah,
Try to
So we're
run.
saying
Oh,
the
that's weird.
ceiling type is none, but then we also selected some parameters for the vaulted ceiling type. I think that could be why. So I think we should like at least select something for the ceiling type. So it like coincides with the rest of the selection for the ceiling, the vaulted ceiling type, above grade ceiling type.
So maybe we should just maybe we should make the ceiling type vaulted, right? If we have the vaulted ceiling type below that,
Yeah.
just try to make it one of the vault, like the highest insulated vaulted value that there is, like that one. That's fine. Yeah, and then yeah, okay, that see if that works. What the frick?
so
Do any of them work?
I mean, that inputs it in.
All right. Yeah. I mean, just yeah. Let's just try and yeah, just leave it. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not accepting it. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, let's see. Okay,
Error's gone. And then we have
appliances cannot be located in MF shared space unless home is attached MF home.
Wait. What's going on?
So here are the errors kind of listed.
Did we just get a bunch of errors for putting that blown attic?
yep.
Oh goodness, clothes washers.
These don't look like they're associated with it. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Appliances cannot be located in MF shared space unless home is attached MF home. Please revise the inputs.
Yeah, wait, maybe make sure that we have for the site information or the general design. One of them should be, we should have building type should be like, what's the, oh, go back to the house type. House type where it says 3-story. Is there MF there? No, shoot, okay. Where do we specify that it's a, maybe go back a little bit further, like in one of the first ones. Okay, let's see. All right, nothing there. Don't see it there. Is it, what about the reason for reading? Yeah, no, okay. It's not it. All right, let's keep going.
That just had climate info.
It's
on it.
gotta be somewhere around here. What's the
I think
foundation?
After the ceiling, and then after this tab. I do remember selecting MF for.
So window and door properties.
I don't think it's
Um,
here.
so somewhere we need to identify that the home is an MF home.
Yeah. Is there any way to click on the errors and do they take you like to the, if you want to put there's 14 refrigerators in total, but because we can't account for compact refrigerators, just put 12.
Okay.
Oh,
So that
maybe
this would be like-
multifamily there. Yeah, maybe there. And then can you run the little lightning bolt? Oh, dang it.
no basement insulation. So we're unsure about this. This is
similar. It's the same thing.
clothes washer is located MF space, but is not attached to the domestic heating water heater. This is clothes washer. Shared MF. So is this because it's saying that we don't have a
Can you change
domestic
that
water
from
heater?
none? Can you change it?
It didn't have any other options other than
Oh, dang.
This is strange because the domestic, so if I were to open up the detailed, right, so this was the one that I was working on prior. This is what it looks like for the detailed inputs. As you can see, there are a lot more stuff, and it does detail domestic heating, like the equipment, right? But in the simplified inputs, there isn't anything for detailing what the domestic heat.
Maybe
Domestic-
go back one slide from the duct system. One more. Space conditioning. Is there, can we add a new one? Is there anything there? MF
MF unrated.
heated, maybe that one. Oh, that just implies in the okay. That's not what we want either.
Let's look at the other errors and see what's up. Slab floor, first floor must specify a slab location. Slab locations help ensure that buildings are correctly configured. Okay, so slab location.
Where do we put the slab location?
This is the slab type.
Yeah, this slab type. Here. Except characteristics of floor type. Percent open to level above height. It looks like it's defined here, but yeah, I'm not too sure what's up with this. I don't think there is any other place where like the slab is detailed. Um,
Yeah, I think the simplified version is more for like a single family home type of inputs.
well, in like kind of the help section here, if you kind of like simplify, what it kind of mentions about it is that when modeling existing homes, consider using simplified to speed up the process. It's hard to accurately characterize the real R values. As a result, the simplified inputs may be a minor issue in your model. So that's kind of like how it recommends using the simplified inputs. But there's also, they do mention, you can use simplified and then move to detailed.
Okay. I think maybe we can just make all the foundation type, just make it like a crawl space. So then we don't have to identify the like location of the slab, and then see if we can like get a
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay, for sure. So you want to take out what aspect again?
the slab, so we're not gonna have any slab for the foundation type.
And then maybe for the washer and dryer, we can just say that it's conditioned for right now and not say it's shared because we still have the same amount of them.
Or which part?
The washer and dryer, we said it was like MF shared space, but it says that we maybe change that to just conditioned. Yeah. And then same thing with that. Just leave it like that. Yeah.
So
Try to run
changing to
the-
see if
Nice,
we can actually
nice.
get a value.
Yeah.
They specified a window without an orientation. Okay, east, east, east. Oh, these are all east. Wait.
Keeps going. There might be one that's just missing an orientation. Like keeps going down in the window, like the windows there. Are there any that don't have a specification? If you scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Oh, there's a few here. Yeah, skylight.
Okay, so that's orientation is up. Orientation is sky.
Maybe the skylight isn't included in the windows.
Yeah, maybe get rid of the skylight, honestly.
Do they have another place to enter skylight? If I remember.
There is in
In the
detail-
detailed inputs, yeah.
the detailed inputs, yeah.
Okay, these are warnings, but
We can
for
work with warnings.
values, there is no HERS index, unfortunately. We do have loads values.
It says we fail. Is that what it's saying?
Well,
Oh.
wait, hold on real quick. I think I have to kind of like
Oh,
check
wait,
all
yeah.
these
Yeah. Check
mandatory
them all. Check them all.
requirements.
Check them all.
See what's up with them.
We're doing great.
okay.
Yeah, we are certified under EPA WaterSense. The next ones we are. Wait, scroll at the bottom of that one. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And then the next one, what does that say?
Certified under ID.
Yeah, probably.
IDHS.
I think so. I think we'll probably are. Yes.
Well, I mean, these are optional for.
Screw it. Make them yes. We are definitely DOE 0 ready. Yeah. Just say yes. It's a software. like-
So just to be clear, for us to certify that we're DOE zero energy ready, we'd have to, like we kind of talked about before, use the software for like the California specific
yeah, the Delta EDR
performance
stuff.
path for that. So we'd have to check that. But okay. So we still failed.
How do we not how do we not get a herds index? Like make the exhaust fans, we gotta have some of those. Make it like 12 and change the refrigerators to 12 too.
Okay.
Yeah, in that one where you the slide that you're on right now. That
Change
product
what
count.
to what?
Make that 12 and then exhaust fans 12.
Okay.
How do we not get Harris index?
Peculiar. Can someone like maybe Google or look up rem rate simplified inputs hers index? Or can we get a hers index from simplified inputs?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
It says we don't have a water heating system.
Oh, yeah, we should have an electric. I mean, I don't know how it says gas is being used in the building, but because we're trying not to use gas. I don't know where we're using gas.
The thing is though, the DHW, the domestic heating water equipment summary, that's not included in the simplified inputs. That's included in the, if I go to this one with detailed, that's here in the, like the detailed inputs. I don't think there's any way can incorporate the domestic heating.
What other equipment is there? There. We
So
want
those
to
are
do,
system type.
if there's anything that's an electric water heater, then yeah.
It says electric.
None of those. It's none of those. Oh, dang, this is tough.
Yeah, it's not. So the thing is, in the heat spring, when they had like an optional video on this, they didn't they did this all in detailed input land when they did the whole webinar. I'm not sure if the reason why we're not getting a hers index is because we're doing simplified, but I can look into that and see. So, but we got through kind of like the simplified inputs. So if y'all want to meet a little bit later today, I can look into whether or not we can get a her score with simplified, and I can let y'all know when we reconvene. But since we have a lot of people here, do you want to just kind of like break and work on the presentation and then kind of come back? Because I don't want it to be like we're trying to look up some stuff, and other people can be, I guess, using time to work on the presentation or something. What do y'all think?
It's a good idea, I think.
So yeah, what time should we meet later?
I mean, the thing is, we can just sort of all stay in the same Zoom room and keep the Zoom up, or we just set a time later. But I mean, it already depends on you guys, because today's a holiday for me, so I'm pretty free until nighttime.
Do we have voice channels in Discord, or is that like, are there none of those?
I mean, for Discord, there are voice channels. I mean, there's like a group video call thing as well, but it's just that not everyone is responding in Discord. That's the entire issue. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So like, it's best with the email. So I mean, it's really up to everyone here. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to do like just all stay in the Zoom room and